know everybody's having a wonderful time meeting the exhibitors. If you can start coming to take your seat. And I would please ask, the closer to the front and the middle you can seat yourself, that's always more amazing for our speakers. So please come forward. Please do not hang out on the sides of that.
Oh yeah, we're about to. Yes,
People, if you can just help us out. One of our guests left a black shoulder bag on a chair in front here, and he said that it is now missing. So if anybody sees that or no, oh, right here. Ooh, everyone's listening. I like that. Oh, we have an obedient audience. I do love that. Please move forward. Please move towards the center of the room. We love having everyone close together. How's everybody today? Very loud. Very loud. You can turn the microphone down. Thank you. All right. Who was here yesterday? Let's see. Woo, yeah. Awesome. Fantastic. Did everybody get some good rest? We're in for a fantastic fun day today. I'm just giving everyone a little time to funnel in, take some seats. All right, this might be a stupid question, but where are all my entrepreneurs and business owners? Yeah. Well, I'm going to just start today. We have a lot of prizes to hand out today, so be ready. Be aware. Be ready for those questions. Put up your hands. A little housekeeping, just for everyone to know. The bathrooms, if you need a restroom, all the way around the conference room towards the registration desk. That is one place you can find a restroom. Or if you take the staircase down right here, turn left, there are restrooms on the side of it. Oh, good morning. Hi, Michelle. Awesome. Well, I am so excited to get today started. I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank all our partners and exhibitors for all the work you've been doing during this weekend. Give yourselves a huge round of applause. Yeah! And then, as customary, we always do start the day with a little information on Achieve Systems.
Let's go! Roll! Yeah!
So the idea is for you to leave this place and everybody look at you and say, holy shit, what happened to you? That is the impact we will have.
These conferences are not just about seeing some of the top business building speakers in the world. but it's about meeting industry influencers, business owners, and people who impact the success of your business greatly.
In our life. And that comes because of the impact that we make on others. Amen?
Amen.
At this event, we are going to provide you with numerous opportunities to connect and collaborate, and most importantly, develop a number of referral partners who are in your corner to help you create success.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Raymond. I'm with the Achieve Business Building Conference, and we are having an amazing time connecting with other entrepreneurs. The speakers are absolutely amazing.
I have watched our CEO, Robert Raymond, for almost 2 decades, help millions of business owners in so many different ways. At this event, you will connect, collaborate, and learn from business building icons. These conferences will impact the success of your business, just as it has so many others over the last 3 decades.
I want you to just think about how you're feeling. I want you to shake.
We are so excited to have you here. We cannot wait for you to attend the award-winning Achieve Biz Explosion Conference. We cannot wait to help you explode the success of your business.
Fantastic. So let me ask you, who are our first timers here? What is it, your first Achieve Systems Conference? Yes, fantastic. Welcome. Again, about 50% of the room. And so my first question, I guess, will be, for a prize, we have a prize here. Who would like to share what is your #1 goal today? What would you like to achieve here today? All right. Let me bring you next on quickly, my brother. All right. Want to see me travel?
So my biggest goal for coming here today was to make connections. And I think that's been accomplished.
Well, here's a very special prize for you. This is from Tommy Summers back there from our Love Zone booth. And this is a Bluetooth speaker. It's a great, yeah, have fun, enjoy. All right. So the next thing I would like to do is take a moment to I would like to take a moment and talk about our amazing CEO and founder, Mr. Robert Raymond. Let's give him a huge hand. Well, I don't think I need to say much. What I want to say is, for those of you who do know him, I have watched him in action for, 17 years now? And he is the biggest hearted human being. And his #1 priority in this world is to give each and every one of you opportunities. Every day he wakes up and he thinks of new ways to create resources, opportunities for our entrepreneurs and business owners. He's a family man. He has also achieved a lot of accomplishments and been through a lot to get where he is. And we want to thank him for creating this amazing container for us entrepreneurs and business owners to create the things we want to create and generate the revenue we need to generate to create beautiful lives. Let's give a huge round of applause. And so, as you all already know, one of the big reasons we have these events is because as entrepreneurs and business owners, growing relationships
And connections is one of your best and biggest tools to grow, expand, and create the business you want to create. Without connecting to others, look, as human beings, that's what we were made for, right? We were made for connection. That is really one of our needs as human beings. In business, that is the best way to grow, is to go out there, connect with people not only in person and online, but events like this. So I'm so happy to see all your faces here, because you are the ones that made the effort to be here today. So give yourselves a huge applause. And then, of course, we're all about education, because education allows us to be influential as business owners. And that is why we have an amazing lineup for you today. All right, so we're going to get this party started. And Nicole, if you would switch out the computers for us. We have some amazing speakers for you today. I am not going to say much about our first speaker yet, because I'll be introducing him here shortly. But after Todd, we will be seeing Marcus, who is incredible. You do not want to miss the ex-NFL player who's going to be speaking.
Yeah, Marcus!
And then also we will have a wonderful hour-and-a-half lunch, which before lunch I'll tell you more about that. And then after lunch, let me ask you all please one big favor. I know that lunch can sometimes take some time. Please be back in the room when we ask you to be here, because out of respect for our speaker after lunch, we want to make sure you're all in your seats, right? Is that a deal? Yes, thank you. And we'll be handing out prizes right after lunch. So if you're not in the room, guess what? You don't get a prize. Fantastic. And then last but not least today, we have an incredible high figure earner panel of humans that are going to be up here to share with you their secrets to success, their secrets to high revenue. And you will possibly be able to ask some questions. There's definitely going to be a Q&A, and the amazing Daniel Gomez will be leading that for us.
Yes.
Excited? Yes. Excited. Yes. All right. Well, so with no further ado, you know, I have this piece of paper here about this gentleman that's going to be coming up here soon, but I'd rather just talk about him because I very recently met Mr. Todd Duncan, and he has so many accomplishments that I can name here now. You know, he's a sales entrepreneur, he's an expert in the financial and mortgage industries, and he is very well known for his influence about high trust. Who here recognizes that right now, especially right now in the market, building trust is #1 priority. There's so much jargon out there, so much noise, but aside from Todd's achievements, I want to say that the thing that struck me most about Todd is he has spoken on some of the largest stages in the world, but he is so down to earth, so sweet and kind. He's definitely one of the most heart-centered human beings I've met in a long time. So with that said, let's learn a little bit more about Todd.
How can I help you win? You're not judged by how many clients you have. You are judged by the impact you make on each client. I gotta be out of my own comfort zone. I've gotta do things differently if I want different results. I learned that if you wait too long and procrastinate, the chances are the dream is gonna pass you by. Can you change your name by Monday?
Yes.
Promise? Your conversion is not a function of how cool you think your pitch is. That's not influence. What is that? Digital noise. How do I, in one phrase, eliminate my competition? People don't care about the product until they know how much you care about them. And if I can be your partner to help you experience the emotional goodness that resides inside of you to pull out that greatness, I want to be that person. Let's go! How's everybody feeling? Energy's insane. Kind of. Like, let's think by the time you get back to where you get back, like you are tapped out on energy. What would your voice sound like then? Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Better. Let's see if we can sustain it for 30 seconds on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go! To be made. I'm here to cause a little bit of transformation. You okay with that? And I'm really here to upset your mind, jiggle it up a little bit, and have you start thinking different ways about success. Fair? Okay, so we're going to get started. I've built a bunch of businesses. My first business, very, very hard. Didn't know what I was doing. Have you ever been in business not knowing what you're doing? Like it's pretty hairy. Like, you don't know what you're doing, and you don't have any money coming in, and you don't know what you're doing, and you don't have any money coming in. And, I mean, that cycle's got to not repeat too long, right? So I didn't know what I was doing, and like Achieve Systems, I had the good fortune of stumbling across somebody's path, 10 years older than me. He knew what he was doing, and he was making money. And so I watched him one day in the marketplace, and I was very impressed with what he did. I followed him into the parking lot. When he got into his Porsche, nice Porsche, convertible, turbo Porsche. And I'm in a 1967 Camaro with a vinyl roof with duct tape holding it down. And that's what's going on right now. But I introduced myself to him, and I said, I don't know what you did, but I want to be like you. I want to be mentored by you. I don't know if you will mentor me and help me, but I want to do something real, real special. He taught me in that parking lot about doing something real, real special. And this video is going to set up my career because of that one person. Watch this.
There's a lot of noise in the world today. There's a lot of things that pull us away from what's truly important in business and life and relationships. In our routine of 9 to 5, we find a blurred line between working to live and living to work. What if we didn't have to trade purpose and passion for productivity? What if we had the power to build a better business and in turn, a better you? We've been on a journey for 25 years to quiet that noise and pursue the things that really matter, focusing on the one thing that pours directly into your life and business. Trust.
In that parking lot that day, that gentleman told me, if all you do is focus on trust, you'll never have to worry about business. If all you do is make sure trust is always at the highest it can be, you never have to worry about collecting a dollar. He said, if trust is as high as it can be, you never have to worry about clients leaving you. If trust is as high as it can be, you never have to worry about employees not working while they're sitting at a desk pretending that they are working. If trust is high enough, you will attract a universe of possibility, a universe of dollars, a universe of wealth, and a universe of transformational experiences if it's all about trust. And so I made that my calling card, and one of my lines is, trust is the hardest thing to gain, it's the easiest to lose, and it's the most important thing to be held on to. And I would say in business and in life, the only thing that matters is trust. If people trust you, they'll buy from you. If they don't trust you, there's nothing you can do to make them buy from you. The art of trust, the art of finessing trust, the art of being trust, the art of connecting with trust, the art of having trust become your middle name, if you can go that far with it, is the one decision that changes everything. And I went on after meeting that guy in that parking lot, and in the next 11 years did $4 billion in sales because of trust. And I was struggling when I met him in that parking lot. And then I bought a better, nicer car than he had. So I'm going to give you $4 billion business building hacks today. Okay? You may not want to build a $1 billion business. I love more zeros the better for me. You know, the more zeros the better. The more we impact, more zeros come into that. But it's never about making money. It's always about transformation. The money flows when the soul is transformed. If the soul's not transformed, you can't close a deal. So it's all about impact. It's all about transformation. So when you look at this dial right here, the question I would like to ask is, where are you right now? In your life, in your business, in the way you operate, the things you do, the things you say, the promises you make, the promises you keep. Are you tapped at the highest level of trust possible? And it's an answer that you need to answer. Do your clients, do your business partners, do your employees, do your prospects, do they trust you at level 10? Period. End of story. And you have to make the shift, which is one of the most important shifts you will ever make, which is the first thing I learned in the parking lot from this guy that helped me build a $4 billion sales business. And he said, you've got to make a decision before I will share anything with you. All good mentors want you to make a decision before they will give you their advice. And so he asked me a question. He said, what's more important to you, relationships or transactions? Right now I had a $1,500 credit card limit on my credit card from Citibank, and I had a 90-day draw, $1,000 a month, and I needed a transaction. I needed money. And I was smart enough to not answer the question without asking a question. Sales technique, right? I didn't know it was a sales technique then, but I truly it was either naive, stupid, or both. So I go, well, what's the difference between the two? And like right now, he pondered with me, like I'm pondering with you. And I looked at him and I said, what's the difference? What is the difference between the two? Transactions lead to relationships. Relationships lead to transactions, theoretically. What is the difference between the two? And what John said to me in that parking lot changed my life forever. He said, transactions will make you a living. Relationships will make you a fortune.
Yes.
You should clap for that. And so I decided that in this relationship transaction game, that any time I had a chance, everywhere I had a chance, I would play the relationship game with people. 2 years ago, I was at a leadership conference. I was speaking about the power of purpose. Where's those? Yeah, purpose. And I was talking about purpose is the one thing you need to have very, very clear in your mind in order to architect a pathway towards success. And I was talking deep about purpose, deep about this law of the iceberg, which is 90% of your success is not seen to the outside world. It's deep inside, it's underneath. It's all the stuff on the inside, right? And the inside is where the mindset really, really is birthed. And it's the inside where we start to think about and dream about, and then they become intellectual, and the mind then starts to go over about where we want to be, and then we get boom, edited by something. Something limits us, something holds us. Is that me or is that somebody counting that there? And in my mind, I'm thinking, and I'm looking out at the audience, and right about where you're sitting now, what's your name?
Lisa.
Lisa. Right about where Lisa's sitting is a girl who's crying. And I went over to her, and I knelt down in front of her, just like this, and I asked her, I said, where are those tears coming from? And I touched her arm. Go ahead. You can answer. Gratitude. Yeah. So I'm down on my knees, and the girl that I'm down with says, my mother never made me feel like I could succeed. And I'm really, really, really in a trauma about that. And so I sat there a little bit, and I said, so what is your purpose? And she goes, I've never come up with one because I'm too afraid. My mother never told me that I could succeed. And I looked at her, and I said, I'm going to make you a deal. This was on a Saturday. I'm going to make you a deal. If you can work the whole rest of the weekend, and by 5 o'clock tomorrow, Sunday, send me your purpose as if nothing could stop you. And if all you do is trust me and give that to me, starting Monday morning, I'm going to do something I have never done before because I charge $15,000 an hour to coach people. I'll coach you every single Monday for free for 4 weeks. Just being right here, right? And I got that purpose statement from her. And we got our first call the next morning at 7 o'clock. And it went for a whole hour. I gave her 3 assignments, and then we met the following Monday, the following Monday, the following Monday, the following Monday. And a month later, I asked her how she was feeling. You do it again? Sorry.
Good morning, Todd Duncan. What's up? I hope you are well. You look well. I saw the palm trees in your sunroof, and that excites me. I can't believe I'm going to be in California next week. Like me, little old me from Kentucky in LA. So excited to see you, excited to be part of my nation, excited to see my girls and me near the fire. I just want to thank you for just taking the time to pour into me and encourage me. I know you have a million other things that you could be doing with your day and time, and yet you still find the time to let me know that I am important and I am worthy, and I appreciate that more than words to say. So yeah, it's Monday. Let's get it. You know I love Monday, chance to start fresh, and I cannot wait to see you next week and explain to you how I've grown since the new leadership experience.
So that was not a transaction with Ashley. That was a relationship with Ashley. And Ashley's life changed because of that relationship decision. And now the people in her life, their lives are changing because of her decision to be in relationship with them. And I will tell you right now that everything you will do that is meaningful at any time as you walk this earth at the highest level must include relationship, or it's a complete waste of time.
Yes.
And what that does, thank you, you got it. Go ahead.
Yes.
No, this is an all play. This is an all play. If you feel like shouting, shout! I asked her to tell me what was different. She said the first thing that comes to mind is my past and how I'll never be there again. Never going back, never settling, overcoming the obstacles that were made to keep me small, breaking generational curses, overcoming my circumstances and refusing to let my childhood define me. My word for the rest of my life is overcoming.
Beautiful.
People thought I would end up in prison. Now I'm ending up a millionaire. All that matters, man. All that matters is relationship. All that matters is relationship. And we look at this and we start to think about, okay, so this is my other hack, more for less. The fast track to burnout, the fast track to client turnover, the fast track to unfulfillment, lack of joy, and burnout is trying to get more for more. The reason why relationship matters so much is because if you have a relationship, they know everybody you need to know in relationship. So I haven't made a cold call since I was 23. I refuse to make cold calls. They're the greatest waste of time in the world. I talked to a guy one time and he was doing this kind of visual monkey junkie kind of stuff, and he goes like, it takes you 10 calls to get a sale, and the sale's worth $1,000. Every time you hear a no, put that imaginary $100 in your pocket and keep on calling. There's some fundamental breaks in that model. One is, it's just phantom money. That's the first problem. The bigger problem is, why don't you teach them why they heard no? Why don't we fix the way they sell so that they don't have to put the imaginary $100 in their pocket? And 9 more times, blow a sales call until they get the deal. And he looks at me and goes, do you have a better plan? I go, yep. He goes, what's your plan? I said, my plan is to be so good, 1 call, 1 deal. 1 call, 1 deal. 1 call, 1 deal. No failure. No failure. No failure. He says, you're naive. I said, no, I'm good. Your model is for people that suck. And that's why the selling profession has a bad rap. I mean, how many of you have ever had call reluctance? Just let me see your hands nice and high. Have you ever had call reluctance? Do you know when call reluctance occurs? Before the call. It doesn't happen after the call. What happens after the call is call embarrassment. But call rejection happens before the call based on what? The past. It's all that crap you're dragging about how many calls didn't work out, and somebody tells you, keep on calling, keep on, it hurts. Keep on calling, keep on, it hurts. Get the door slammed. Keep on. No, that's BS. Why don't you just have call excitement? The Bible says the generous man will prosper. He who refreshes others will himself be refreshed. Sounds like a great sales strategy to me. I help you win, you help me. Right? Yes. So we look at this as more from less. More from less. This is a hack. This is a massive hack. I have a friend that's a sports agent. He's a search firm. He places people, places CEOs. He placed young standards in Colorado. His name's Bob Levine. He wrote a book called The Power of Who. And the subtitle of that book is You Already Know Everybody You Need to Know. Boy.
Like once I met this guy, who knew 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 this guy's cousin. You're right!
Well, one of the great questions is, who do you know? Who knows? Who you need to know? It's like my favorite BFO. You know what a BFO is? It's a blinding flash of the obvious. cold call and get rejected, or I can say, hey, Jason, this dude Otis said you and I should know each other. I've got something he thinks you might like. Do you have some time to chat about it? It happens. Jason's done it to us. We're finding, when we started this new company, Fuel, Alex goes like, how are we going to get all these instructors? And I go, I know a guy. I SpongeBob him. I said, I know a guy. And now 65 instructors later, all referred from a guy. How did I build my real estate business to $4 billion? I never let a borrower, never let a seller, never let a purchaser close a transaction without date stamping when the next deal was going to happen and staying in their orbit until it did. And I ended up trademarking what I call the circle of cash flow. It's the most powerful thing you guys need to know as a business owner. It's the only way you get more from less. Okay, ready? Video, here we go.
Understanding the circle of cash flow can change your life forever. You add value to 5 people who grow to know, love, and trust you. Those 5 people each know people who need the same value. Some know 1 person, some 5. Those people who are referred come to know, love, and trust you. They each know people. Some 1, some 5, and some 55. Some may even know 555. When people are referred, you sell more faster. Less negotiation, less shopping around, more repeat business. The world is changing. Your referral universe is never ending when you build trust.
So listen to this. Listen to this. This is the most relevant thing I can give to you today. The biggest gift I can give you, besides living your passion and dream, is understanding what you just saw on the screen. SpongeBob included. And I need you to know this. So let me go back to my real estate career. So I help a pilot, a commercial airline pilot, buy a house. The guy is so thrilled with how I helped him, he wanted to introduce me to a buddy of his that is also a commercial pilot. So I meet the buddy of his who's a commercial pilot. It just so happens that his buddy is the executive director of the California Airline Pilots Association. In 10 years, I did 792 real estate transactions because I knew a pilot that knew a pilot that knew a pilot. Yeah! I did a deal for a doctor. You kind of know where this is going to go. He's playing golf with a buddy of his who happens to be the president of a bank. So you thought I was going to go doctor. Spun it up. The bank didn't do real estate loans. So I get introduced to the bank that has 4,000 depositors, all of whom are going to buy real estate, sell real estate, and finance real estate, and I get to do all 3 because they didn't do it in the bank. And so I set up a meeting with the president. 1,100 transactions later, 7 years later, I have pretty much pillaged that bank in relationship trust and doing a great job. But no cold calls, no marketing, no advertising. The power of WOM, word of mouth, brings in twice as many new customers and doubles the lifetime value of a current customer. It gets better. The doctor that referred me to the bank president, 2 years later becomes the executive medical director of Western Medical Center that happens to be a mile from my house. There are 1,900 nurses, staff, admin, doctors. So he sets up a home loan hotline in every cafeteria so that anybody in the group that wants to talk about a home loan can pick up the phone and it'll direct connect to my assistant to take down all the information. We did 900 loans in a hospital. My greatest joy is I got a janitor approved for a home loan. And changed his life forever. So Andrew Carnegie would be worth $350 billion today. Way more wealthy than Elon Musk. And one of his business building ideas that was published in 1908 was put all your eggs in one basket and watch the basket. And most people, when you think about putting all your eggs in one basket, it brings up what? Fear. That's stupid. And what's really dumb is to have good eggs in the basket and not take care of it. So in the lending business in the 80s, if you did $10 million in loans in a year, you were considered pretty good. Average loan now maybe $80,000, average purchase price on a home maybe $100,000, right? So if you did $10 million, you were pretty good. My first year, because of the parking lot experience with my Porsche friend, we did $37 million in volume. And what made it even more impressive is the average number of referral clients at 10 million is usually 15 referral clients. I had 3. How much easier does life get when you get more business from fewer people? A whole lot. A whole lot. And then what I found out was if I can play the relationship game and I can support it with more from less, and word of mouth takes over, then the fastest way to residual income is client loyalty. Residual income is built faster, has more profitability to it, if it's coming from people that know, love, and trust you, instead of people that are just doing business with you because they can. So these 2 hacks have got me to, shoot, I don't know, 22 books, 3 New York Times bestsellers, 9 million clients around the world, one of whom I'm in my 32nd relationship with. I just talked to him last week, and he referred me a $500,000 deal. 32 years later. I had one client that told me flat out no. I wanted a big bank in my portfolio, and the bank I went after was a bank in Florida called Barnett Bank. And the gal, when I called her, see, I didn't have a referral. I just liked the bank, I liked what they stood for, and so I completely cold called her. But I had a strategy. Cold calls are okay if you have a strategy. So check this out, this is going to change your life. I promise. Imagine the head of training saying, Todd, we don't vendor base our sales training. So, no go. We do it all in-house ourselves. And I go, okay. So that's it? She goes, that's it. And I go, how about I send you every 3 months 500 CDs and 500 lesson plans, no strings attached, no cost, give them to your sales force. Free, absolutely free. She goes, you would do that? I go, yeah. She goes, why? Because, Ginger, I believe it's never a matter of if, it's only a matter of when. She goes, we'll take them. 3.5 years later, every quarter, 500 CDs went out, 500 lesson plans went out, incubate, 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 incubate. The law of incubation says the most profitable relationships mature over time. It's never a matter of if, it's only a matter of when. 3.5 2.5 years later, Ginger calls me. She goes, Todd, it's Ginger. I got good news. I already know what it's going to be, right? She goes, Mickey retired. Well, Mickey was in charge of that stupid policy. And I got promoted. I took Mickey's place. How fast can we do a contract with you? And I said, today. And she goes, I want you to train all 800 salespeople for the next year. I have millions of dollars to spend. Just tell me how much this is going to cost. We're ready to go. I did a $3.5 million contract in less than 17 minutes because of 500 CDs, 500 lesson plans. In 27 years, I booked $42 million in contracts with Ginger. Never a matter of if, only a matter of when. And the when is going to be based on follow-up, and it's going to be based on value. So that leads to this beautiful hack. We got 2 more. Connect first, convert second. The sales industry has its pass backwards. We try to convert, and we haven't yet connected. You can't convert if you don't connect, because if you're not connected, there's no trust. Isn't this good stuff?
Yeah. Great stuff.
So, when the pilot introduces me to his friend who's a pilot, it's a lot easier to connect with the pilot because we talked about the other pilot. That's easy. It's easy to connect. But I'm talking about going down even deeper, right? Connecting at the emotional soul, connecting internally with people. And I have this belief, as Gallup supports, businesses that optimize emotional connection outperform the competition by 26% in gross margin and 85% in sales growth. Their customers spend more, return more often, and stay longer. That is power right there. That is power right there. Anybody know a guy by the name of Harvey McKay? Harvey McKay wrote a book called, he's written a lot of books, but one of his best books was Swim with the Sharks Without Being Eaten Alive, right? So I interviewed Harvey McKay. We distributed the interview to about 400,000 real estate agents. The next morning, my doorbell rings and there's a FedEx package. I open the FedEx package, and this is inside the package. It's an envelope with a bunch of sharks on it. So I open up the envelope, and this is what I get. I get a 4-page thank you letter that says thank you 605 times. And then at the very end, he makes it personal, right? I sincerely appreciate the interview. You were just awesome. The interplay between us was spot on. Hey, best wishes for a continued year, overflowing with good health, much happiness, and ongoing success. So he's thanking me for the interview. So now I'm writing a book called The $6,000 Egg. And in the $6,000 Egg, I'm telling 10 stories of really, really great service moves. And one of them is the Harvey McKay story. So I put 12 of the books in a blue box. I personally autographed one book to Harvey McKay. I send them over to Harvey. I get a call a week later from my assistant. Alicia goes, Todd, Harvey McKay wants to talk to you immediately. It's Friday. I call Harvey McKay. He goes, that is a great book. Thank you for putting my story in there. Well, Harvey, all I was doing is thanking you for how you thank me. And he goes, well, I'm about to thank you for thanking me, for thanking how you thanked me, and I thanked you. Ira, what's up? I wrote an 800-word summary on the $6,000 egg. Tomorrow morning in the business section, it will be in the top 100 newspapers in America. Yeah. Your book's in the newspaper. How did that happen? Well, Mom, all I did was thank somebody who thanked me for thanking me the way I thanked him, and I thanked him again, and then he thanked me for this. Because I'm totally confused, but I guess I get it. I have a whole lot. So somebody told me today that they love my shoes. These are. And I did not buy them for me. But I'm telling you the story. And I say this. I say that hard we can't thank you. That's going to last a lifetime. And I just said, I was talking to 10,000 people or something, which is actually perfect. And I said, next time you send a thank you gift, make sure it lasts a long time. So I get these shoes in the mail. Somebody spends $2,000 on a pair of Louboutins, and I wanted to say, thank you for listening to the teaching. I have so much stuff, you guys. People are mailing to me because they want their thank you to me to last forever. I had no strategy around this. Just like one of those accidents, right? But that thank you, I have the original letter in my safe. I never want to lose that, right? We want to make sure that we connect in ways that there's this lifetime, right? This lifetime of connection. And so it leads us to a very important phrase that is followed by a very more important strategy. Mastering the art of conversational productivity. This is huge. I pride myself on looking at anything I can look at and deciding how can it be more efficient. How can it be more efficient? So, in conversational productivity, businesses use 80% of the time to talk, which is the equivalent of promoting, and 20% of the time to listen, which is where connection happens. The pros, however, reverse that. They use 20% of the time to talk, asking game-changing questions, and 80% of the time to listen, and listen with the intent to solve, not to sell. Continuing with the 80-20 theme, 80% should always focus on emotional content, and 20% should focus on economic content. Talking about the money does not make deals work, and talking about things that don't matter create more tension when you're trying to produce more trust. There's two things that work every single time you're building a business, whether it's hiring people, whether it's coaching, connecting with people, whether it's having a sales team that sells 2 people and 4 people. 2 things in play all the time: tension and trust, tension and trust, tension and trust, tension and trust. The higher tension is, it pushes trust out. The more salespeople talk, the more tension invades the sales conversation. And so there's this white paper I wrote called Talk Less, Sell More. What a concept, right? And the only way to talk less to sell more is to ask fewer questions that are really, really good questions, instead of many questions that are piss poor, and you're just going through the motion, asking the questions. So I put a research firm on this, and this is hard to see with the lights, but over here, when we looked at taking 100% of the words that a salesperson was using, and we cut it down to just 80 words, conversion was 17%. When we trained them on talk less, sell more, all the way over here, and we took the words from 100 down to 25, conversion went to 77%. This is data that tells us the less words, the better. The less questions, the better. I'll give you an example. So I taught a bunch of lenders to have a different conversation with first-time homebuyers. First-time homebuyers are usually scared. How many of you have ever bought your home for the first time? It's hard, right? So I said, here's how you know you're doing this right. 1 question, 10 words, and that changes everything. Think about what I just told you. Imagine how powerful your business would be if you only asked one question, and in 10 words or less, and it got them so connected to you that they trusted you, there was no tension, and let's get about doing the business now. So I said to this group, I said, so how about with first-time home buyers, what would it mean to you to own a home? I said, you guys got 30 days to try this out, and every first-time home buyer, I want to know what happens. Don't ask any other questions. Just ask it to shut up. So we get everybody back on, and I ask for volunteers. Tim's the first volunteer. I go, what happened? And he goes, well, this husband and wife are transferring from Anchorage down to Portland. We got on Zoom, had a connection with them. And then I said, I know you guys are first-time home buyers. What would it mean to you to own a home? The wife started crying immediately. The husband followed with tears. And I told Tim, like I tell everybody, do not say a word. Let the tears flow. And about 45 seconds later, the husband said to Tim, we would be the first family in the history of our lineage to own real estate. To which Tim said, I'm going to make that happen for you. Are you ready to get started? Here's one of our business clients who does about, $12 billion a year in business. And he rolled out Talk Less, Sell More to his whole company. Look what he said. Hey, rolled out Talk Less, Sell More. My group and productivity went up 30%. We're training on it every week. That's palpitating. 30% increase in business just by shutting up. So the key to this whole thing is turn down the promotion, turn up the emotion. Now, you ready for the rest of the Tim story? Yes. That husband and wife said to everybody they knew at the plant that was relocating down to Portland, you got to use Tim. He's the best. 37 more loans. $7 million in transactional value. Because the family that, what will it mean to 10 words? Too much promotion equals tension. Too much emotion equals connection. Get rid of promotion, turn up emotion. Video coming your way right now.
When we were young, we wanted to be epic. We rode on the backs of dragons and dreamt of flying cars. We were taught that power was nothing more than being the strongest guy in the room. But brute strength was not enough. We had to learn grace. We found that staying true to who you are is all that matters. The balance isn't found, it's created. And the ability to reinvent ourselves is the most human trait of all. All this to grow fearless, so that when we got the chance, we could deliver that flying car, and once again, ride on the backs of dragons.
So, what about that commercial was connected? Dreams, right? Flying on the backs of dragons and going back to childhood and thinking and thinking and thinking, right? And then they bring the car on, and I want to mention the brand of the car. You get to see the brand of the car, but that's it. This was played during the Super Bowl when Alfa Romeo was a hot second away from shutting down operations in America. Played one time at the Super Bowl. Car and Track magazine said this: Alfa Romeo's already sold more cars in 2017 than it did in all of 2016. Sales in February were up 843%. That's a lot. What's it like? Think about your business right now. What would it be like to do as much business in February as you did all last year? Yeah. That's what these hacks are for. Emotional connection. Watch this real estate banter between two real estate agents and tell me where the pivot happened, right? We talk price?
Yes.
All right.
Let's talk turkey. What firm are you with? I don't even remember.
I'm with Triple Net.
Triple Net.
Yeah.
What happened to Double Net? I'm not familiar with your phone.
Relative to all the other brokerages in the city, not only are we small, we're new. So we're still getting that brand recognition that other people have worked decades for. We really started to explode in the last year, so it's not a huge surprise to me that you haven't heard of us.
Okay.
But you're about to start hearing a lot about us, that's for sure.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, we've been out of the market for a decade. We really don't have a frame of reference of what the space is worth.
Right.
There's no comps for this.
Nothing super direct. As much as like so many of your upgrades take the value up, and up, there are some challenges.
It's really cool, but you remove all your stuff and someone's left with like a big, dark ground floor man cave.
Right.
And so it's really only gonna work for a certain amount of people.
Maybe even like a nightlife person. We can get like some celebrity attention on this, but just somebody who really wants something very unique and a property that they can show off. So here's what I would say. It's a 4,000 square foot, 2-bedroom.
Right.
Anybody searching above 6 million is putting a minimum of 3 bedrooms.
Okay.
And I don't care which neighborhood that is. So we're gonna have to list it 5.5.
5.5.
Yeah.
I would say 5.5.
A little bit lower than we were thinking.
Yeah, and we were kind of hoping to have a 6 in front of it.
I think we probably rather be like up closer to the 6 number.
I want that for you as well. I'm just trying to be realistic. 85% of marketing a property is how you price it.
The market is funky and there's a lot of inventory.
I'm more ready to sell and trust something new and find a new space. Corey's a little more apprehensive, but
I'm a little off the fence,
Yeah.
to be honest. I mean, this was really a true labor of love. You know, every day I'm oscillating back and forth. Oh, Jackie, no talking.
yeah, we'll let you know.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Very cool space.
Thank you.
You know, everybody says they're not ready, and it's just because they're digesting like the financial side of everything. If somebody's not ready emotionally, I like to give them space. It was so nice to meet you. It was interesting because I can tell she's ready. She wants to go through another project, and I just told her how much money she's going to have to go do it with. Now she's going to close the deal for me behind the scenes. Take care.
He's adorable.
Yeah, he's very
Great
sweet.
energy.
I just have a question.
Sure.
What are you passionate about?
Creating, you know, designing.
I mean, that rings true to me when I look through this space. Like, you've been here for 10 years. You go and find something else, and you do it even better. Picasso wasn't done after one, right? Even if you thought you had one masterpiece, you kept going.
Sure.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
People meet with real estate agents because they want to sell. When I hear from somebody, they say, well, we're not really ready. Yes, you are. You called me. Let someone come in here and pay you the most amount of money possible for it, and let's go paint another painting together.
That sounds really good.
Listen, I can tell that you're ready. You're ready. You want to go paint that next painting? Are you ready?
I think we could take a shot with you.
You want to try it?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Want to go find the next canvas?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm very excited.
Time kills deals. And if I give them time to think, another broker is going to come in and that person's going to close them in the room. That's what selling is. So be ready. Star broker, another one. I'll send you paperwork. You can't change your mind now. When you really quick your day.
So you heard it, right? Yep. What was the phrase? What are you passionate about? The entire conversation changed. What are you passionate about? 5 words. And that unlocked the connection and then the metaphor to bring Picasso in, because the guy likes to create. And to bring Picasso in on that was absolute gold. Absolute gold. And the other guy, Tyler, bless his sweet little novice heart, he just walked out. There was no follow-up. And when he found out that they listed with Ryan, he set up an appointment with Ryan so he could go get schooled by Ryan on how Ryan got the listing, and he didn't. And Ryan said. time kills deals, and you ask the wrong question. Okay, here's our last hack. Hack number 4 is the aggregation of marginal gain. This hack is the best hack ever because when you wake up every day and you're in Achieve Systems and you're in this culture and this brand that you're trying to be, want to be, are going to be your very best version of yourselves, right?
Yes.
Then it is on you to understand the power of this concept. Because greatness and mastery, which is this whole thing today, mastery, gives you an unfair competitive advantage when you arrive at the top echelon of your industry. Best speaker, best author, best sales pro, whatever it is, when you achieve mastery, you get to that greatness, right? The other thing is the more you try to do to get better, the more you're going to have resistance because it's easy not to get better. It's easy to be stagnant. It's easy to just kind of hang in there, right? But as soon as you try to do something new or learn a new script or try this or try that, you're going to have headwinds. The only way not to have headwinds is to remain apathetic and neutral and not worry about pushing the envelope, right? If you're a dreamer and a doer, you're going to have headwinds. That doesn't mean not getting better should not be your rallying call in face of that. So watch this video.
The story is about Team Sky, which is Great Britain's professional cycling team. Sometime in the mid-2000s, around 2010, they hired a man named Dave Brailsford. And at the time, Team Sky had a very middle-of-the-road record when it came to performance on the world stage. They had won about 1 gold medal in the last 100 years, from 1908 to 2008. They had never won a Tour de France, the premier event in cycling. And when they hired Dave Brailsford, they said, we would like to change this. We'd like to improve our performance. We'd like to reach a higher level of performance. What's your plan to help us do that? And when they hired Brailsford, he said, I have this strategy called the aggregation of marginal gains. And the way that he described it was the 1% improvement in nearly everything that you do. And so they started by looking at a lot of things you would expect a cycling team to look at. They improved their bike tires and made them slightly lighter. They put a more ergonomic seat on the bike. They had their riders wear biofeedback sensors so they could see how each person responded to the training and practice that they did each day. They had their outdoor riders wear indoor racing suits because they were lighter and more aerodynamic. But then they did a variety of things that you wouldn't expect a cycling team to do. They split tested different types of massage gels to see which one led to the best form of recovery. They taught their riders how to wash their hands to reduce the risk of infection and keep them healthy. They even figured out what kind of pillow led to the best night's sleep for each rider, and then brought that on the road with them to hotels. So Brailsford said, if we can actually execute on this strategy, if we can aggregate all these small changes, these little 1% improvements, then I think we can win the Tour de France in about 5 years. He ended up being wrong. They won the Tour de France in 3 years, and then they repeated again the 4th year with a different rider. And then just last year, they won for the 3rd time in 4 years. And Brailsford's strategy really came to fruition at the Olympics in London in 2012, when they won 70% of the gold medals available. And so what I'd like to start us off with is the idea that small improvements actually can add up to a very significant change in a relatively short period of time. And this is just basic math, right? If you get 1% better each day over 365 days, you end up 37 times better at the end of the year. If you get 1% worse, you take yourself almost all the way down to 0. Now, you might say, okay, well, 1% improvements are nice, but clearly no one is going to get 1% better every single day. So is that ever enough to accumulate to anything, considering that we're not going to be perfect all the time? And I would argue, yes. In fact, you can get 10 times better if you get 1% better 5 days a week, 46 weeks a year, so it's about 230 days in total. That gives you 6 weeks off for holidays, illness, laziness, and just generally not getting things done. But you're still 10 times better at the end of the year. And what I would like to propose is that the way to do this is not by setting better goals for ourselves or our organizations, but by building better systems and obtaining better habits. In fact, you could say that the goal never changed. They wanted to win the Tour de France each year. They wanted to win Olympic gold medals. It wasn't the goal that made a difference. Instead, it was their system, the way that they applied those improvements on a 1% basis day after day.
So the question becomes, well, what's the improvement right now in your business that's going to make the biggest difference? And are you committed to a 1% effort every day? Now, I'm not talking about 100 things, trying to do 1% better on 100 things. I'm talking about the needle movers. You know, is it health? Is it money? Is it business? Is it, what is it? You guys got to decide that. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful when you understand that because, as John Wooden said, every day is a masterpiece. And all we have to do is wake up every day committed to being our best version of ourselves. And if we have the tools and the tips and the hacks and the environment to make that happen, then it works well. How many of you have people on your team? You got people on your team? Okay. I started a new technology company. We went live last June. I'm going to show you a 2-minute clip and then we're going to be done.
What if the success of your company isn't about KPIs or credentials, but about how deeply your team believes you care about them? In a landmark study called Project Aristotle, Google sought to understand what makes a team truly exceptional. They expected to find answers in education, experience, or even sheer intelligence. They were wrong. The single most powerful predictor of high-performing teams is a sense of psychological safety and demonstrating high levels of emotional intelligence, where individuals feel comfortable taking risks, asking questions, and offering ideas without fear of ridicule or retribution. It turns out human beings perform better when they are treated like human beings. Now imagine this. Every employee in your organization, regardless of title or tenure, with instant access to the world's most comprehensive platform for personal development, emotional resilience, and mental fitness. They come in the form of micro lessons that are on demand, live interactive coaching that happens every single week, every lesson available in every language on the planet, and delivered by instructors chosen not for their fame, but for their soul. They don't just teach to impress, they teach to uplift. This is fuel, not a wellness program, a strategic advantage, a platform engineered to develop confident, capable, emotionally intelligent people, because that is the real edge in today's workplace. You say your people are your greatest asset. Invest accordingly. Equip them with tools to thrive, not just survive. Fuel their growth, and you will never fuel the company's performance.
Go check it out. That'll take you right to the website. It's been a joy to hang out with you. Did you have as much fun as I have? Because I had a freaking blast. Yeah, I am grateful to Robert and Vanessa and the whole team here to allow me to hang out and make a difference in your life. And I'll tell you right now, if you just take these 4 hacks and you just deploy them and you work on getting better with these 4 hacks every single day, life is going to be a blessing to you. So, guys, thank you. Robert, thank
All right, how was that? Yeah. Well, everyone, all right.
Thanks.
I have a question. Phyllis, can you grab us another prize? Who would like to share which one of the 4 hacks that Todd shared with us today is your favorite? All right, over there.
My favorite one was building relationships because that is important. I noticed that in my business as well.
Sandra. Book from Robert and Noel Peterson. Thank you. Well, that was inspiring, and now everyone gets to take a
And after that, you right back in your seats for Marcus Ogden.
Big doggers. What you need, Stan? Well, the gift that was given to you. I didn't get it. What was it? But it's by a company called Walker, a brand new company in the market that's 2 years old. And the thing that they do is wait for you to have Bluetooth speaker, correct. And then the bottom, they sell
website on Instagram. Put my name in.
So I do all the
You here? Yeah, you here tonight? I'll hang out. We'll chat more.
I went to California. I saw like, okay, how far? I come out every year. So you're out here. Yeah, I love it. And everything he just said is about big relationships. I'm not here to sell you anything. If you're going to buy, how do you think you're going to buy? So you're a real estate market. That's exactly right.
You're genius. So when people understand degrees, that is what you say drops the cost of production. That also works for we talked about that if we can go on so the guys that's probably one thing I can help with. Well, it may be. You eventually we're the world leader. And then people are working on it. Research up there. You want to know? I'm not letting you go. We just got to do it for I'm not here to just because what is your You've got to vote. The trick is people feel something is not check our stuff out. So that's what I did. Another thing, these are kids organized the difference. You don't need to pay let's just figure out so if you want to you definitely got something you know it. And yeah, it's all about this is a great alright. There's a hot trade out there right now. So this is the I can't see my website.
This is correct. I know what these cutters. This is great. Cookie cutters. But no, I'm serious. If you want to take a couple, I literally have a whole box of them. Got to put out there. I'm trying to get rid of it. It's fine. I know a guy who eats pizza. There you go. Not only that, if he makes pizza, think about it. If he makes pizza and it says, hey, for $2 extra, you get a pizza cutter with your pizza. But if people start paying throw that in there, throw a pizza cutter, he can make money on it. He can actually increase his profit. I don't know if they were, let's say, $1.75 charge for pizza cutter too. It's just little ideas he can do. Yeah. I can make him a good deal if he's doing that too. Like, literally, he's got everything he's trust. Charting, and just so he can so it's not about it's about building a relationship. And then what's he do? You can't help me. Yeah, please do. And I'm gonna send you some stuff that you do. I'll send you what you send me. And I know we'll be really busy at midnight today. There's a chance I got it just because I'm here. I'm like ready to get shit out there. Whatever. I just want to go down about here you go. I trust you that much. I'll pick it up. Here's what I got. And if I need to sell some of all this stuff, maybe you can help me do that. Whatever.
Here, just go ahead and take one of these because I got a million of them.
You're gonna like have a crick in your neck.
Here's my little job on it too.
These are pizza cutters or cookie cutters.
So looking forward to it. What's up?
Yeah, it's different. I mean, it's
you know, I figured social media kind of in a way. Rockford, tiny little town outside Rockford. 1,100 people is a town in Rockford. It's a place called Snow Valley. Rockford is close. My parents are from
Jay, if you want to split up the
Yeah, I mean, what? So I get to, yeah, I know our park very well. My cousins lived out there for 3 years. Just on my house out there. The Texas got zero emission. That was there for 10 years. Feel free to take any of the photos.
And I just swore I wanted to get away from it. And I went to Chile 3 years ago. And I said, for 3 years, I said, this is what you need to understand building your company. And I could not get and then wants me to what you want to see? But I gotta get those billionaires and I just gotta you're fine. I got another half million. I make runs. I can help you. Literally, I can literally help you. Where's my hat? And I found the backpack. Found the backpack. The same one. Yeah, I'll send you a secret. As long as you promise It might not be selling that same chip. Now they can have every single chip. Probably go out cheaper chip. I don't know. You call me to get this, I can get that. I can get that cheaper than this. What? 719? 985? So, this is a medium. That's good enough. So you've already built it. This conversation. 719. Gildan price point, but way better. Buildings and pockets cost everybody sells them. And it's the same price. This is 100% I had every single size. I'll tell you what though, take it, you send me an email, look, I have 100 more. I'll send you. You just get my car, give me an address, I'll send you right down. And then here's the great one. Next year, now that I know they go well,
if you have coffee, you have pizza here to that's
one of the ones I'm doing. That's one of the colors I'm doing. It's going to get hot in here to see the patient. Stay cool. Flash. Yep. You are. What you don't take, I have all of these actors already for my next show. I'm Tom. Nice to meet you. And you are Taylor. You've been here before. You were here last year.
No, I talked to you yesterday.
Yesterday was okay. Yes, you were here.
You do need a computer.
Mike Simon, Steve, nice to meet you.
Check out my website.
What is it that you guys
All right, we're ready to get started with our next featured speaker. Can I please have everybody back in their seats? ASAP.
next week. But if you guys got some cards, I will take those. Take these.
Also ran a startup and Ryan is like, he's my guy. He's the guy who got me here. We're just getting started with trying to get into production of a full line of the THC infusion.
All right, beautiful people. If I could please have everybody back in their seats so we can continue this beautifully inspirational day. Take your time. All right. Yes, I'll remind everybody on the breaks, very important to connect with our exhibitors here. Every single exhibitor has been handpicked by Achieve to be here as a resource for you and your business. So I suggest you do not miss a single exhibitor. Make sure you check in with everybody. All right? I want everyone to come in. I want to make sure we have a beautiful full room for Marcus.
Yeah.
With that said, I have $1 million tip for you guys. Okay? Are you listening? Make sure you send gifts that last a lifetime. I know, but maybe I get a pair of shoes out of that or something. Oh, well. I had to throw that in. I'm sorry. I was like, I think that is the hack I like the best. It is a good one, though. Honestly, I mean, I have a knife. Hold on. Dr. Larry, are you here? Dr. Larry, back there, gifted Robert and I the most beautiful knife that I use in my kitchen almost daily. So guess what? Every time I use that knife, who do I think of? Our amazing Dr. Larry. So yes, there's testimony to that, giving gifts that last a lifetime. Now, our next speaker, Mr. Marcus Ogden, is a former NFL player. Anyone excited about that? He's an inspirational keynote speaker. He also is the founder and CEO of Ogden Ventures LLC, a 5-time best-selling author, business coach and consultant, and the podcast host of Get Authentic with Marcus Ogden. So who would like to be on Marcus's podcast? Yes! So make sure you connect with him. However, his journey did not come with unrelenting adversity. After retiring from football, Marcus pursued a career in construction and contracting. At 27, he founded a construction company with fast growth, but eventually it went bankrupt, right? As we all know, building a business can be a massive task. He lost almost $2 million on one project in 90 days. Crippling, yes. He pulled himself together, and during his darkest hours, got a part-time job as a custodian. That is admirable. Marcus rose to the top again with hard work and determination, using his struggles as inspiration to blaze his own trail forward. Now, he shares his powerful story to help others learn how to fall forward and achieve success in their lives. Marcus's story and insights as a thought leader have been featured in top publications and on large stages.
Marcus hopes to continue reaching new levels in his professional career and positively impacting as many people's lives as possible through doing what he loves most, sharing his experience and knowledge with others. Let's welcome to the stage, Mr. Marcus Ogden.
I am from Washington, D.C. Yeah. I live in, right outside of Baltimore. Okay. Yeah. Fans in the back. I live in a little bitty town now called Fuquay Marina, North Carolina. It's about half hour outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm here to talk to y'all today. Oh, can I move down?
I'm going to do that down.
Yeah. Is that better? Yeah. We're good. All right, very good. Now, this is people that talk to me. Good. Everybody. Well,
let's fix this right in the beginning. There we go.
Is that better? Yeah. All right. So again, Marcus Ogden from Washington, D.C. I live in North Carolina. I'm here to talk to y'all today about how to thrive through the eye of the storm to create a sustainable and profitable business. All right? Thriving is not about avoiding the storm. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care who you are. I don't care what business you have. Everybody goes through a storm. Business-wise, personal-wise, health-wise, family-wise. What has to happen in life, you have to have what I call a perspective shift. You cannot allow things in your life that are storms to hold you back. Does anybody know what animal is the only animal that charges into the eye of the storm? What is
Buffalo!
It? Bison or buffalo? Now, I like to say bison. I'm a Howard University bison graduate. I like to say bison. All right? Bison. Yes, bison is the only animal that charges into the eye of the storm. It's not just they like the pain. They know the only way out of a storm is through a storm. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot run from your problems in life. Can't happen. Why? You run for a little bit, you chase it, try to move on, it will catch you as fast as you're running from it. And what the bison believes, taking it on head on instead of having your back to it, you can thrive through it. So never turn your back on your problems. Because what? You can't see it. You can't defend yourself. You can't what? You can't get through it. You can't thrive if you're what? Running away from it. So again, thriving is not about avoiding the storm, it's about learning how to dance in the rain. So let's talk about what we're going to cover today. Understanding the storm every business owner faces. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we all have storms that we have to work through. Number two, branding with purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of like when you hear brand or branding? What do you think about? Well, image. Who else? Nike. Who, I love that. Who else? Reputation. Credibility. And let's go. Write this quote down. Okay, ready? Confidence plants seeds. Credibility creates conversions. Confidence plants seeds. Credibility creates conversions. I live by another saying. What you say about yourself will build your self-confidence. What others say about you will build your book of business. Todd said it beautifully. It's a lot easier to get a client from a referral than trying to chase someone down new. Why? Because the referral, what? Knows you, likes you, trusts you. Todd talked about trust, and I love to give you 3 things to build trust with people. You ready? Number one is competency. Do you know what the hell you're talking about? Right? You ask me to be a pilot, I'm done. Aerodynamics, I'm fried. Football, I can talk to you. Coaching, we can rap. Ladies and gentlemen, credibility, right? Competency. Do you know what you are talking about? Number two is reliability. Getting it done in the time frame that it needs to be done. This is where most business owners fall off. Why? They turn things in what? Late. Late is not acceptable in the business world. People have no time for your bullshit. They don't. They don't, ladies and gentlemen, people don't care about your excuses. They care about their bottom line. They care about what they need, what they want. If they are paying you for something, get it done early or on time. That's reliability. And third, have your client's best interests. Don't try to sell them to somebody that you know they do not need for the money, for that, to make that ends meet. You have to have a sense of, I understand what you need and have their best interests. So branding is about your mission and or your mantra. Where should you go? Who said Nike? For brand, okay. A couple things, a couple mantras. Just do it. Okay? Information in your hand. Which one's that? Apple. Apple. Right? That's your phone. Right? We deliver anywhere. That arrow with that A. Amazon. Ladies and gentlemen, in your business, people need to know what you stand for as soon as they see your brand or your mantra. Instantaneously. If they don't know what you stand for, they don't know what you believe in, they're going to find somebody else to work with. We're going to talk about that. Marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not getting in front of people, how can you convert sales? If you're not marketing, if you're not getting out there, if you're not networking, if you're not in a referral base, if you're not marketing, people can never buy your product. We're talking about sales, trust, how to convert. We're talking about operations, how to actually get a job, how to do a job. Finance. Ladies and gentlemen, you all run a business. You have to know what you're making, what you're spending, how profitable, what does that look like. This is not a game. It's your livelihood. Treat it as so. And we're talking about the power of mindset. One of my favorite people is Bruce Lee. Love watching his stuff, love reading his stuff. I'll give you two of his quotes to remember for the rest of your life. Number one, first quote. So shall you think, so you shall become. Your perception is your reality. What you tell yourself, what you think about yourself, that's how you view yourself. That's how you conduct yourself. That's how you act. And number two, never tell your mind negative thoughts in a joking manner. Your body cannot disseminate the difference. Words cast spells. That's why it's called spelling. The way that you choose to speak to yourself, you choose. Choose wisely. That's why they call it spelling. They cast spells. Ladies and gentlemen, what you say to yourself, what you think about yourself, that's your mindset. Your mindset can either shift for greatness or it can make excuses and turn off. So that's simple. You choose. You make the choice. Now, so you can see that bison, I love to have it now, our little images, okay? So I'll tell you more about myself, all right? First picture on the left, all right? You guys see a guy on the left with a really bad tie and the glasses. The other guy is 6'9". He was 6'9", 375 pounds in the 8th grade. Bigger than every NFL lineman at 13 years old. Amazing. The little kid in the middle, it made me wear the tie. I had to part my hair. It's the early 90s, I can get away with it back then. Now, let's jump. Talk about power of mindset, okay? That is my brother's high school graduation photo. Who is missing in that picture? Mom. When he talked to that individual about my mother believed in me, when she said that to the top, it made me think about when I was 8 years old on Christmas morning. We woke up and our mother was gone. Gone. Left. We didn't have no note, no explanation. We didn't see it for almost a year. Talk about mindset. Talk about the ability to find grit and perseverance when you have two boys that you now have to take care of and have to explain to them that it's not their fault, they did nothing wrong, that their mom made a decision, but here's 3 things we're going to do. Number 1, we're going to respect women. First thing our dad taught us. Number 2 will be respect yourself. Number 3, education over sports. Those are 3 values that were instilled in us when we were being raised by a single father. My question for you, in your business, what values do you have? What do you believe in? What makes you the person you are? Why did you choose to do the business that you are doing? If people don't know that, you're in a lot of trouble. 62% of business owners don't know their mission or mantra. They don't know it, or they don't have one. Crazy. So again, we were raised by a single dad. I went to Howard University, the Bison, not the Buffalo. So that's why we talk Bison here. You all know. I got a full scholarship to play for the Bison. Had a great experience, loved college, worked hard. I was drafted to the National Football League by Jack Del Rio and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to tell you all exactly what Jack told us when I was a 22-year-old rookie. 2 things that he said that changed my life, and I'm going to remember them to the day I die. You want to write these things down. First thing, Jack said, in life, be your own CEO. Be your own chief executive officer. You own, if you own, who in here owns the business? Raise your hand. You own the business. If you're not your own CEO, who's going to be? You don't wait for somebody to tell you what to do, where to be, how to do business? I hope not. You know what? They don't care. It's your business. You have to tell yourself, do things above and beyond. Don't just do barely the minimum. Don't just do enough to get by. Let's jump. Write this quote down. Listen, I love this quote. The enemy of great is not bad, it's good. The enemy of great is not bad, it's good. I'm doing good. I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. What that means to me? You're not pushing for anything. You're being average. You're allowing things to come your way. You're not pursuing anything. You're not attracting anything. So again, don't just be, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm doing all right. The hell with that. Do great. Be amazing. Be unstoppable. This is your business. This is your dream. This is your moment. Live it to the fullest. Because of the one word you never want to have in your life come up, later in life, it starts with an R, is what? Regret. I regret not doing this. I regret not trying. So be great. So again, be your own CEO. And the second thing Jack said, be confident, not arrogant. He said confidence talking good about yourself behind closed doors so you can execute when the time calls for you to do so. That's confidence. Arrogance, talking a bunch of hot air in front of people, trying to make it look like you know everything, because in reality, you know absolutely nothing. He told us, if you come to camp arrogant, they will wear your ashes out. You will not have a good day. Be confident in what you need to be doing, how to approach the business of football, then you got a chance. Confidence gets respect from the people you are trying to do business with. So I learned so many things in the NFL, but those two stuck out. Be your own CEO and be confident, not arrogant. I had a fantastic almost 6-year NFL career. Played with some great people, my brother, Ray Lewis, all these amazing people. But unfortunately, when I got out, I struggled immensely. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have Achieve systems or a mastermind or a group or people to talk to. Ladies and gentlemen, in your business, you better create your inner CEO circle. People that you can go to and rely on to get information and to help you see blind spots that you can't see. Because when you're in the business, you can't see all the stuff around. You're so focused on what? The day-to-day. Ryan, raise your hand. Oh, you Ryan too? That's awesome. Synergist, Ryan, raise your hand, okay? So Ryan Synergist is a friend of mine. We work together, but he is in my CEO circle. If I'm looking to do something out of my comfort zone, I talk to about 5 people that I trust to gain what? Their insight on does it make sense? Should we be doing it or not? Ladies and gentlemen, in business, information is the power to drive your business forward. It's that simple. So again, I got out of the NFL. I struggled for about 6 months. Addiction, gambling, painkillers, nightlife. You think of everything bad you think of, I did. Finally, I got together and I became accountable for my life. I made acceptance of what I did wrong. I said, it's time to change. I started Caden Premier Enterprises. We became the largest African-American owned subcontractor in the entire state of Maryland, DC area, Virginia, and the surrounding counties. We were doing almost $25 million a year at our height. Woo! Now, what is the worst enemy of successful people? If they don't pay attention to it, if they don't look out for it, it can cost you everything, and it's a 3-letter word that starts with E. Ego. Ego. Exaggerated, glorified opinions. Right? I constantly lie about what I do. Ladies and gentlemen, I knew absolutely jack about construction. Nothing. I could sell anything. I didn't know the business. Know your business. Know and have expertise because I did. So I lied all the time. Glory. I would have my name in the paper. It was all about me. It was all about what I could do. I call those external motivating factors. As a business owner, if you care about money or fame or notoriety, at some point you will burn out. Because those things don't make a difference in the world. Helping people makes a difference. Glory makes no difference. And opinions. Hey, Mark, let's go to the left. Nah, I'm going right. Hey, Mark, let's do this job this way. Nope, we're going to go this way. I got so big on myself, so high on myself. You want to tell me how great I was always right, I would fire you. Being real. I'm not going to say lie. I'm like, nope, you're fired, get out. Right? My best employee tried to tell me, Marcus, if you do not stop what you're doing, You're going to be bankrupt in less than 6 months. I told him he was crazy, get out of the office, have a great weekend. He came in the following Monday, he resigned. 3 months later, I'm bankrupt, I'm broke, I had nothing. 0. No, I'm talking about now, but now I learned. Back then, I wouldn't know what you're talking about, really? So now, I'm okay because you know what? It taught me the lesson. Ladies and gentlemen, in life, you either win or you learn. And I learned, right? So what happened is I lost almost $3 million on one project. I put into the project, the owner denied my change order. Anybody here in construction? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in construction, never do a job. Never do anything extra without a signed change order. Never. Never. I tell people, remember the saying, in business, they care about their bottom line, not yours. It was their company did about $5 billion a year in business. They could have worked for $3 million, no problem. Marcus, great job. We're going to teach you a lesson. You did work without a signed change order, take us to court where you have no money left. Have a nice day. December 23rd, 2012, I get a call from my bank. Marcus, we've been meeting for the last 5 hours. We love Caden, we love you, but unfortunately, you're too far extended, you're too far gone. We're going to shut down your line of credit. We're going to shut down your equipment line. We're going to shut down your credit cards. And January 1st, 2013, we'll come after everything you own personally. Merry Christmas. Right? That next year, I had to leave Baltimore. Everything I had was taken from me. My home, gone. My cars, gone. Everything I own, gone. I got to Raleigh with $400 to my name. That is it. No friends, no credit cards, no 401k, no nothing. No nothing. Literally, I was working at Merrill Lynch, I got fired. Went to a construction company the next day, got fired from that job 5 days later. I got fired twice in 1 week. Talk about skills. You ever had that happen to him? Nope. Okay, all right, okay. All right, hey. How did it feel? Felt bad, didn't it? Right. So in reality, you were doing something that wasn't your calling. And that was what happened with me. So I got fired from 2 jobs in the same week, right? So I ended up having to take a job, look at that screen, the bottom right corner, that's the janitor. I had to work as a custodian in downtown Raleigh for $8.25 an hour. From 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. And I tell everybody, in business and in life, when you have a hardship or a rock bottom moment, you better pay attention. But here's the thing, I hadn't had mine yet. Why? Oh, it's everybody else's fault. It's my partner's fault. It's the developer's fault. It's not my fault. How could I have done this, right? And God said, Marcus, I'm going to give you one more chance to learn, fella. One more chance. After that, you're on your own. I said, all right. That is a reenactment photo. That is my rock bottom moment. Who has ever had a rock bottom moment? Do you remember it? Yep. How does it make you feel? Terrible, horrible, right? But also, it'll drive you. I don't want to ever go back there. I don't want to go back to that moment. So this is my rock bottom. Taking the trash out as a custodian at about 4:30 in the morning. That exact same trash dump. Now, I did not have a nice night to take a picture. I didn't have a really nice watch. I wasn't like in good shape. I was not really working out back then. So again, that's a reenacted photo. Took the trash out, was throwing the trash can like I always did. That trash had a rip on the front side of the bag. Think about it. Yep, what you just did right there, big dog. Hey, boom, boom, boom. Extra naked right there, young lady. Going to shake your head. All that trash, all that stank, funky, nasty, rotten meat. Who said, oh? Imagine being me. Came right back on. I was literally just covered in people's trash. One of my favorite people, though, is J.K. Rowling. What did she write? Harry Potter. Where? In her car. She had no apartment. She had no home. She was broke. She had nothing. She was in her car and in Starbucks. Everybody told her, what the hell are you doing? Sorcerers, dragons, magic, are you nuts? Who's gonna buy that? Who's gonna buy that? Everybody. Everybody. Not at first, but she kept going. She's the only billionaire author in the world today. The only. She's given away over $250 million to charity. Women's causes, human trafficking, helping children. She just wants to give as much as she can. Ladies and gentlemen, in your business, you're going to face the naysayers, the non-believers. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? What are you thinking? You know what I call that? They want you, as my bison reference, in the herd. Not behind them, because then you suck. Not ahead of them, oh, you think you're a badass? What are you doing out there? What are you doing out there? Why are you there? You know, that's not a good place to be. They want you right beside them. Ladies, two powerful folks. I love, they're both female. I have a lot of people. These are my two favorites. First one, J.K. Rowling. Rock bottom is the moment that I built my life. That's number one. Rock bottom is your fuel to push forward. And my second favorite quote is by Regina King, actress and female director. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. If you stay in a box, your whole life will pass you right by. You're here for a reason to what? Push out of that to what? The next level. Todd's here, I'm here, because all people want to help you. People that you're sitting beside. Who knows you're doing this with them maybe later on? You all met what? Yesterday. Now you all sitting here good friends. You never know, right? But you gotta have your comfort zone. So after my rock bottom moment, I cleaned myself up and said, here's a question, right? Kind of Todd said, what the hell has happened to your life? And I said, there was no accountability, no ownership, and I was blaming everybody else for my failures. Ladies and gentlemen, in life, especially in business, there's two A's. There's acknowledge, there's accept. Acknowledge means you know about it, you're aware of it, you're cognizant of it, and you own it. Accept, you own it, you're going to fix it, so you can move on. So I own my mistakes. You know what? I did this. So now you got to fix it. So I said, we start speaking, first 2.5 years, not a one-page job. Not one. And you know what? Think about what Todd said about sales. I talked so freaking much trying to get business. Ladies and gentlemen, please write this down when it comes to sales. You ready? Whomever talks second wins. Whomever talks second wins. Why? Not just that.
You learn about them.
Thank you. You learn what the person is looking for. How are you going to talk to somebody first trying to sell if you don't know what the hell they want? Oh, I can do this, but I can say, like, well, thank you, but I don't need that. Oh, you need something else? I can do that too. They're like, well, can you? Or you just want my money? Ladies and gentlemen, relationships are only transactions. Relationship is the new currency of business, or the old currency, is how you look at it. Okay? So it's always about relationships to drive things forward. So I finally accepted it, and now here we are. We've spoken for over 80 Fortune 100 clients in the last 7 years.
Woo-hoo!
5-time best-selling author. Our podcast is in the top 0.5% most popular. In the last 5 days, we've had 27,000 downloads. Ladies and gentlemen, what has to happen is you have to own what you want in life. You have to be the catalyst. Don't wait for anybody else. You're the driving force. You're the one to drive your business forward. So, with your current brand, message, and operation attract growth in a tough economy or get lost in the noise? Ladies and gentlemen, there's so many things that have to happen in business, but there's 3 things that matter most about selling or getting clients. You ready? Number 1 has to be the right audience. If you're talking to the wrong person that can't buy what you're selling, it stops there. It's got to be the right audience. Number 2, it's got to be the right offer. You have to offer them something they need. It is solution-based problem solving. It's not selling. It is saying, hey, you have a problem, I can listen to you. Here is a customizable solution to your specific problem. No client is the same, because no person is the same. And the third, it's got to be the right time. Think about that. It's got to be the right audience, it's got to be the right offer, it's got to be the right time. So again, can you stand out in a crowded space? Let's talk about this. External storms, things you can do absolutely nothing about when it comes to the entire spectrum. Economy, politics. You know what's going on, we're not even going to talk about it. We're not going to discuss it. We all know what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, but you can't control that. You can't control the competition. How many, and be honest, how many of y'all said, man, I see the competition, what they're doing, and I'm trying to catch up? Okay? I have. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't worry about what the competition is doing. Because what? You're not them. Focus on you, not them. Put your energy what you can control, not what you can't. Okay? And then technology shifts. There's always something more innovative coming up. Again, you can't control that. You can use it, great. You can't control people creating new systems, new processes. You can't do that. So don't focus on it. But now, there are some things you can fix in your business. Leadership gaps. Right? Remember this quote. Leadership is not just doing what is right. It's doing what you know is hard and right. That's leadership. That's what it's all about. You have to be able to fix things and help people with perspective. It's not about what you want, it's about what the people need around you. So you can fix that. Burnout. Burnout comes from lack of systems and lack of processes. So if you want to fix burnout, get better processes, get better systems. Synergist has helped me personally with my time, with what I'm doing, because now I can get things done. And what I call, if you own a company, you should be doing what's called high revenue generating activities. That's what you should be doing. Not admin stuff, not behind the scenes stuff, not follow-up stuff. That should be done by whom? People that you have with systems in place. I was the one for 4 centuries doing all my podcast titles, descriptions, emailing people, following up. Ladies and gentlemen, I was losing so much time responding to people who wanted to be on our podcast. So much time. I'm getting like 5 to 6 per day. Come on your podcast, and I got this person, and I was like, damn, sure. I was just getting what? Overwhelmed. I was starting to what? Burn out. Now, hey, Danica, could you all please just create a system, respond to people, meet with them, if you think they're good, thumbs up, give them a link, boom, have a schedule. If they suck, be nice, hey, I'm gonna take it by right now, see you later, have a good day. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, I was losing at least 1 to 2 hours per day responding to people about my freaking, I shouldn't say that word, my awesome podcast. I was so stressed out. So you can fix burnout. Systems will alleviate that. And unclear vision, ladies and gentlemen, this comes back to your mission. What is it that you stand for? Where do you want to go? Right? It's a great quote. Don't just think it, ink it.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are 70% more likely to achieve a goal when it's written out in front of your face. You know why? Your mind is telling your body, hey, big fella, making this done. There's no excuses. When you write it down, you can't lie to yourself. You can't say, let's not get that done. I don't want, nope. When you write it out, you're like, yep, I gotta get it done. So that's the thing. Have that vision. Know what you want. Your vision can change, sure it can. But at least write it out. Don't just think it, ink it. And there's 2 magic factors to your success as a business owner. Consistency, you. No matter where you go, this is going to follow. You can't get away from it. It's you. You have to show up. You have to do the work. You have to say, you know what, no excuses. You're like, Marcus, you're a huge guy. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. I kind of agree with that. What are you trying to tell me? Do you work out? Nah, man. This is all natural. Are you freaking kidding me? Yes, I work out. Well, why do you work out? Because I made a disciplined promise to myself. I'm going to get it done no matter what. Ladies and gentlemen, there's discipline, there's dedication. Discipline is doing what you know you need to do for something you don't really like. Dedication, doing it and you love it. So some days I'm disciplined in lifting, some days I'm dedicated. Because one of the day I'll tell you which one it is. And regardless, in your business, you have to be disciplined and dedicated to the vision that you set out for yourself. If it changes, that's okay. But keep on top of what needs to be done to get it done. The middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, no matter how stressed you are, how much you feel overwhelmed, there's opportunity in that moment. It's got to find it. Be real. It's got to find it. It's pretty straightforward, all right? Branding with a purpose. Define your why. What problem are you solving? Be authentic. Be authentic as I've been. See what we're getting at. And align your visuals, your voice, your values. If people don't know what you stand for instantaneously, then you're not doing your job as a business owner. You're not. People know anything about us, mindset, grit, overcoming adversity. I'm talking about other things? Of course I can. But that's the first thing that comes to people's mind. That's why the bison is part of our brand. Because that's what a bison is known for in that regard. So for you, what is your vision? What is your voice? What are your values? And people have to clearly know that to help you grow your business. Now, here's some things you can do for yourself. You can clarify your mission and vision, perform a brand audit. I just had someone on my podcast Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you exactly what she told me. Is your messaging speaking to your target client? And I tell you what, before I heard her, ours was not. Please, in your messaging, don't talk about all the negative things you want to help you with. I want to help you with this. If you're struggling with this, you're struggling with that. If you're struggling with this, you're struggling with that. What happens is you attract people that don't have any money to buy what you're selling. So say like, hey, if you're doing great, awesome. You want to elevate to the next level? Let's talk. You want people that are doing well, that want to do what? Great. Elevate. I mean, they're struggling and are doing everything wrong because they don't have money. They're not doing well. So you have to speak the messaging to the client you want to attract. And that's the key word, attract. Don't have that many people to do business with. All right? So your experience, share your offensively online and offline. If you want to come on our podcast, shoot Derek an email. I was kidding. Your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Jeff Bezos. What are people saying about you or you or you when you're not there? That's your brand. Protect it. Marketing. Understand your target audience. Use data. Leverage testimonials and social proof. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. 44% of sales happen after the fourth touch point. Now get this number. 88% of salespeople quit or disengage from a sale after touch point 1. Crazy. 88%. If you are selling a high-ticket offer, will you buy something for 20 grand, 10 grand on the first call? Nope. So why was your potential client? If you won't do it, why would they? Trust, consistency. As Todd said, show up on their radar. Just drop them a hey, how are you? An email, a little quick message. Just stay on the radar. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much at all. You just have to be aware of that. That's key. Okay? So again, literally, I'm not considering BS you. We've done this with dynamic synergies. We have a content calendar. We now have how we post. Monday is a call to action post on social media. Wednesday is a video. Friday is a family post or a business post. Period. That's what it is. Get yourself content ready. Run some campaigns and use social and referrals. Ladies and gentlemen, marketing is just all about touch points. That's all it is. Networking, human-based, referrals, reach out, just stay on people's radar. Don't fall off. Okay? People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. What's your why? Our why? To help people succeed in life where we failed in our journey. That's my why. My mantra, inspire you to take accountability. I'm done. 5 words, I'm out. Ladies and gentlemen, active listening is going to drive your business forward. Get this number. 71% of salespeople talk first, they talk themselves right out of sale. 71%. Staggering. That's when people hate sales. Oh, I'm not good at it. I struggle. Did you talk first? Well, yeah, of course I did. Have a nice day. I can't. What am I supposed to do? Like, let them talk first? Why? Maybe you can help them. All right. Don't get mad at me, bro. Like, I'm just trying to help you out. Ladies and gentlemen, learn how to talk sales. Know your value proposition, know your people's sales process, and understand how to overcome objections. I love what Todd said. If it's not now, it's just when. You guys get on the radar. Right? Sales. It's all about just consistency and follow-up. And you know that trust. Create a CRM system. Train your team on how to handle objections. Schedule regular follow-ups with prospects. And the key word is regular. Not every once in a while. I gotta do it. People are busy, aren't you? Aren't you busy? Yeah. So are they. Okay? Every scale has 5 obstacles. No money, no hurry, no desire, no trouble. See it? Yes. Look at this. So understand this, go into it, be excited that you have something that they need and can help them grow. And again, attract the right type of potential client. That's everything. Do not talk to the wrong people because you're going to do what? Get told no a lot. Right people, right offer, right timing, you're going to win. Hell of more than you lose. Plain and simple. Okay, now operations, automate, delegate, eliminate. Ladies and gentlemen, burnout is caused by lack of systems. I said it earlier. Please get more automated in your business. Build operations to scale to the next level. That's everything. Identify what you can do, invest in tools, and conduct weekly check-ins. Ladies and gentlemen, in spending dollars, investing dollars is a great thing to do. Look at the potential ROI you're going to gain. I spend about $7,000 to $8,000 a month for my team. What I get back is a hell of a lot more than that. And without them, I couldn't do what I do. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. It's way too big for that now. Ladies and gentlemen, invest with the right people and the right systems to build your business to where you want it to go. It's that simple. If you can't describe what you are doing as a process, you don't know what you're doing. Think about it. You can't really tell what you do or how you do things, what are you doing? You're just filling your thoughts. That's what you're doing. And financial education. Know your revenue, your profit margins, your cash flow. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know these things, you don't have a business. You're just doing business. Make sense? You gotta know your numbers. You gotta know your numbers. Review financial monthlies, hire a fractional CFO, a bookkeeper, separate your personal from your business finances. Do not commingle. That will cause a nightmare in your life. So don't do it. Okay? Look at this. 82% of businesses fail due to poor cash flow management. That is staggering. People, I paid a bunch of money. That's great. What do you have? Well, I don't really have much. I'm hanging on by a thread. Where did it go? I don't know. Well, what do you mean you don't know? This is your business. How do you not know? Oh, I bought this, and I bought a home gym for $10,000, and I bought this for $5,000. I'm like, why? Look at that number. 82% fail from poor cash flow management. Please watch your dollars. That's going to help. That's the lifeline of your business. Ladies and gentlemen, I am all about mindset. All about it. mindset is what I call a championship mindset, you'll win. If it's not, at some point, you will break. Your mindset is the most powerful tool in your tool shed. Ladies and gentlemen, I got divorced in July 2022. Filed for divorce. November, I had to leave my home. I had to move into an apartment. A broken down, I call it Freddy Krueger living apartment. The refrigerator was black, exactly. Who put the black refrigerator in these? This is 2025. Well, 24, well, 22, whatever. Black refrigerator. Really small kitchen. And I was this massive guy. I walk around a little kitchen. It was absolutely horrible. Horrible. 2.5 months ago, November 1st, January 15, 2023. Why me? How did I end up? I'm a failure, I'm a fraud, I'm a phony. January 15, 2023, I said, enough is enough. I shifted my mindset from victim to victor. Worked my butt off, and I bought my dream home in May 2023, and I've gone up and up and up ever since. Don't make it a bad week, or a bad month, or a bad quarter. Have a bad day, have a moment, say, poof, go. Keep going. So when I stop saying, I'm a victim, I'm a victor now, life got better. You have to have that mindset in your business and your personal life. So, it's things you do. You journal, surround yourself with positive people, embrace accountability, and seek coaching. Ladies and gentlemen, this group is going to help you to get where you want to go. Surround yourself with like-minded people. That's the key to this business. Whether you think you can, or you think you can't, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're 100% right. You control what happens in your life. Nobody else. You make the decision. That's the key. So here's a recap. Brand with authenticity. Brand something that's going to make you stand out from the competition, that they can only get it if they come to you. Which is why I have the bison in our talks. Because I went to Howard, we're bison, and I got inducted to the Howard Hall of Fame. My father and I are the only father and son in Howard Athletic Hall of Fame. Now, on with purpose. Lead with your whys and how you want to help people. So, what did Tom say? You're going to cold call, have a what? Strategy. Plan. Some strategy. Operate with systems. Finance with clarity. Lead with a victory mindset. Victory mindset. That's going to get you where you want to be. Because a victory mindset means you care about everybody around you's growth, not just your own. That's key.
Marcus Ogden. He's going to hang out there, and please go and see him, ask him the questions you want to ask, and find out how he can help you excel in your business. He's an amazing mentor and coach. Please tap into what Marcus has for you, all right? All right. Thank you very much. Everyone have a seat. Awesome. Well, we are just about at lunchtime. Are we hungry? Yes. Yes. Before we go to lunch, I want to see who can catch our gifts. So this is from our amazing Matt McDaniels, the Bulldogs, our veteran leader. I'm going to throw. Want to catch? Ready? Woo! Marcus, you want to do the honors? Throw one out this side. I bet you have better arms than I do. Well, so fantastic to see you all here. Can't wait for after lunch when we are going to have the beautiful Julie Ducharme. She's got some amazing things to share with us. We are going to take lunch for an hour and a half, so it is now 12:20. Who can do the math? 1:50. 1:50. Hey, be here at 1:45, 1:50, your butt in seat. Okay. All right, have a break. There's lunch downstairs and in the Zinc Lounge. I believe we have the buffet again. It's a $20 buffet if you would like to go there. On the table right outside the door here is also a list of restaurants that are close by. So please feel free to pick up one of those lists. There's Arapahoe Road and Colorado, which is really close to here. Bellevue Road is pretty close. Lots of great restaurants. But yeah, it's a $20 buffet downstairs. Soup, salad, sandwiches, okay. I'll see you at 1:45.
1:45. 1:45. Okay, big dog. Big dogger. Big dogger. We're going to get some big dog. I thought about one person with a little kid at it.